What is up, Flex Zone family? God's favorite host, the host with the moist, back here again, wrapping up these position previews. And last but not least, taking a look at the quarterbacks for the Baltimore Ravens for 2022. What it do? You know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on the positions we talked about. Comment down below. Let me know what you expect from these quarterbacks. Most importantly, Lamar Jackson. Follow us at the Flex Zone 1 on social media at Twitter and Instagram. And of course, that TikTok, Flex Zone Podcast, Cash App. The Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Let's get to it. Time to wrap up these position previews. As I mentioned, as we take a look at the quarterbacks. Really, if you got two quarterbacks, you got none. And the Ravens don't have that problem. But I do want to give credit to Tyler Huntley. They got Brent Hundley too, funny to think about. Tyler Huntley did an admirable job last season filling in for Lamar Jackson, who got hurt with injury. But we know Tyler Huntley is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. A solid backup, yes, but he's not a starter, at least right now. He played well, and teams were talking about, or fans were saying, should we trade him? What do we need to do with him? Should we get rid of Lamar and start Hundley? Let's not be foolish here. Hundley is a good backup at best, but Lamar Jackson is where it starts and where it ends. It will be interesting to see if they keep three quarterbacks or two. Hundley and Anthony Brown. Could we see one on the practice squad? Maybe, but I would just roll with Jackson and Hundley. But when you look at Jackson going into this season, I think he could be poised for a 2019-esque season. I think he has the potential to throw for over 3,500 yards and run for 1,000 yards. The running part, I say that because Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins both may not be ready for week one. And if one is ready for week one, the other may not. We'll see how it plays out in the next month or so. But Jackson's going to have to run the ball, I think, early on in the season a good amount. And I think he'll throw the ball decently. Mark Andrews, I think Rashad Bateman will have a breakout season. Duvernay, using the other tight ends, Boyle, Kohler, likely. Dobbins when he comes back out of the backfield. Ricard, can't forget about him as well. Definitely gotta give them some credit. And when you look at Lamar Jackson, what is his season going to look like? We know he wants the contract. He comes in bigger, comes in stronger, looked really good at minicamp, throwing tight spirals. Looks like he's got the rapport with the rookies and other receivers on his team. He's motivated. He just seen Kyler Murray get paid. He wants over $200 million guaranteed. He wants more than Deshaun Watson got guaranteed. We said give him $50 million guaranteed a year. Lamar Jackson is ready. Lamar Jackson is poised. Lamar Jackson is ready to have a bounce back year. Do I think he wins MVP? I don't know. I don't want to say he won't or can't, but I think Lamar Jackson is going to be over 3,500 passing yards and probably over 1,000 rushing yards. And I think he's going to have a big time role with his teams. And this team is only going to go as far as Lamar Jackson takes them. But when you look at the offensive line being a little more solidified, better than it's been the last two seasons, you look at the running back situation coming back healthy. Yes, receivers could be lacking a little bit, but I think Bateman, Andrews, Duvernay, that gives you something to work with right there. Boyle, Kohler, likely, that gives you something to work with, I think. Possibly getting something out of Prochet, which we saw some good things when Prochet and Lamar hooked up last year. Wallace, there are options. Greg Roman has to let Lamar be Lamar and do great things. Create new wrinkles in the offense. Do some waggles. Do some rollouts. Do some options where he can get outside the pocket and make plays with his feet. Have the option to run and pass. I don't know why every play they run, Lamar doesn't have an option to keep it and run or throw the ball if he's not handing it off. They should keep the defense honest. If they're going to pack the box in and not allow him to run, I like the fact offensive line being solidified where he can actually step into his throws, stay on his spot, have his feet planted, have his mechanics right, and actually make the throws that we know he's capable of. He's bigger, he's stronger this season, he's ready to take more hits, ready to play a 17-game NFL season. Let's not be facetious here. Lamar Jackson doesn't take terrible hits. He's done a good job for the most part keeping himself upright. He's done a good job for the most part staying healthy. He just had obviously some COVID issues in the ankle injury last year, but it wasn't because he was running. It wasn't because he was being reckless. It happens. It's football. And the way these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, if you don't get hurt at some point in your career, it's a miracle to say the least, especially playing quarterback. So Lamar's healthy. Lamar's ready to go. He was not the same after that first month of the season after the Miami game. But if we can get more of month one Lamar Jackson, who was definitely in the MVP conversation last year, let's not forget that this team was in first place when they probably shouldn't have been, didn't have the talent around him. Lamar Jackson showed his value. Lamar Jackson showed why he's one of the best players in the NFL and unique and one of one. Let me know in the comments what you think about Lamar Jackson's season this year. Are you picking him to win MVP? Does he finish in the top 3, top 5 of MVP? How many yards does he throw for? Is his completion percentage up around 70? Does he throw for over 30 touchdowns? How many interceptions does? I think if he can stay under 12 interceptions, 12 under, that'll be a big season for Lamar. That's a number I'm looking at. When it comes to the turnovers and interceptions, if he can stay under 15 total turnovers, 15 total interceptions, fumbles, things like that, 15 or lower, I think he's poised for a big season. So if he has less than 15 interceptions and doesn't fumble the ball 2 or 3 more times, I think he has a good job, a chance of being in the mix and his team really competing. Because if you're under 15 or under turnovers, I think they'll be in a lot of games. I think they have a chance to win a lot of those games, as Lamar Jackson has led some game-winning drives. He's proven he can come back from behind. We can get rid of that. He's proven he can win in the playoffs. He's proven he can throw the ball if he needs to 40, 50 times, even though we don't need him to. He is shown he is an all-pro caliber player. Like I said, worst case, Tyler Huntley is a solid backup if needed for a short stint. Fine, but I expect Lamar Jackson to suit up each and every week this season, 17 weeks, do what he does best, run for over 1,000 yards, pass over 3,500 yards. I could see somewhere between 25 to 30 touchdowns. I could see somewhere between 7 to 10 rushing touchdowns possibly. We shall see what happens, but I'm excited to see Lamar's season. He wants to get paid. He's motivated. He's looking around the league and seeing some of the guys he knows he's better than getting paid. If Steve Bisciotti doesn't want to pay him, he may gladly take that franchise tag. But I think the Ravens need to give him a long-term deal after the season, especially if he stays healthy and plays the way that I think he will play this season. And I think he'll contribute very much to this Ravens offensive attack. It starts and ends with Action Jackson, the Jackson, the Great 8. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions for Lamar Jackson? Do we see some Tyler Huntley this year? Does Lamar Jackson play all 17 games? Are you predicting an MVP? Are you predicting a contract maybe for the season? What are you looking forward to seeing with Lamar Jackson? I think he's going to have a wonderful year. Like I said, I can see him up around 70% completion percentage, up over 3,500 yards, 25 to 30 touchdowns, 7 to 10 rushing touchdowns, and around 1,000 yards rushing as well. 15 or under turnovers, I think we'll be in a really good place for the Baltimore Ravens. That's combined the interceptions and fumbles. If he can be 15 or under, I think it'll be a great season for this Ravens and Ravens offense. And I think the offensive line being solidified and being improved will help him show why he is one of the best players in the league. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's going to take better care of his body as he's been doing. He's going to make better throws. He's going to improve in his throwing motion. He's going to improve in his deep throws, inside and outside of numbers. And I'm excited. He's got his safety valve in Mark Andrews, guys Rashad Bateman, who I think he likes a lot. And I think Dobbins and Edwards coming back will help him as well. Let me know your thoughts on these position previews and any other comments you want to make. Let them know down below. Follow us at the Flex On 1 on Twitter and Instagram. The Flex On Podcast on TikTok. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Donate, cash tag the Flex On 1. And until next time, y'all, peace. Let me know thoughts on the quarterback position. Baltimore Ravens have one of the best in the league, top 5. You can add me on that. Lamar Jackson. Not only is he a top 10 quarterback, he's a top 5 QB. And he's our QB. And we should appreciate him, acknowledge him, and pay the damn man.